Hello, my name is Rick. This is the Dwarven Fortress of Ogredcore, otherwise known as Swampcavern. In today's episode, we will let time run forward in the fort a little. I can't resist trying to see what people are doing. We find out what happens to that giant cave spider that walked down the stairs last episode. And the mighty dwarves of Ogredcore take on a tiny but poisonous snake. We will take a look at the fort as it stands right this very moment in glorious 3D. During the battle with the snake, I took a few shots of the outside of the fort. The tavern, the Friendly Mushroom, does look a bit like the Mushroom Park expansion is supposed to. So to give people a better idea of what that might look like someday, I shot some views of it from the inside, looking up. I thought it might be a good idea to get to know some of the people who live here a little better. The dwarf Crow Girl is the most powerful dwarven warrior I've ever seen. I already talked about her in another video. So this time I will talk about possibly our most famous dwarf, Riralath Aquaman Earbolts, Duke of Swampcavern. As the leader of this fort for decades, he is no doubt responsible for some of its success, as well as some of its mistakes. At the moment, I checked. Aquaman is listening to a story in the tavern. And FPS is plummeting down to bad levels because I'm recording, which is not surprising. People are coming and going. You, what are you doing? Red Sword, the dwarf, is socializing. Cavlist is socializing. I should probably go find that giant cave spider and see how that's going. Oh man, who's leaving adamantine spears lying around on the stairs where someone could trip over it? Oh yeah, of course. It's Fended Nathab Kuridet, of course. I mean, I say that like I know what it is. I actually don't. Knowledge Wilts, the Suicidal Bank, an adamantine spear. What is that doing there? Oh, it's got 4 notable kills. Named goblins and a Gorlak. It's killed a bunch of other goblins. It's personally killed one giant honey badger. And it was wielded by a human spearmaster who died in the year 146, which maybe has something to do with why it's on the stairs. I'm not sure. Okay, I actually found it. This guy has a job, and his job is to slaughter a stray giant cave spider. And it took me a while to find him because he was almost to the kitchen already, where last I had checked he was levels away. So either I'm not sure how he got here so fast, or there's more than one. And let's just, I don't know, maybe follow this guy. So here he goes. It's moving, giant cave spider. FPS is plummeting. Yes, it's a trained giant cave spider, which is part of the problem. We're putting too much effort into training stray animals. We can't even train all the ones we have, probably. Oh, well, there's one less in the world. I swear the game just sped up from that guy alone. Okay, so I just checked the units list, and other than the first page, most of these guys are not goofing off. So I really should just let the game run for a little bit. The idlers right now, I think it's deceptive because I think they're coming and going very quickly. I think there's actually very few idlers. I wouldn't mind seeing that number go up before I assigned any tasks. An elf bard is listening to a story. I need to know. What is the story? In the early winter of 9, the human dairy learn nests became the lawgiver of the vigorous confederacy. Oh, it's a human group. That would be the leader of them in the year 9. So, I don't know, not as cool as the dwarf stories about their leaders who all get killed by giant monsters. The dwarves are maybe a little competitive about it. Okay, let the game run. Must stop. Overwhelming urge to get distracted. Oh, people are leaving the library. What are they going to do? This guy's going for a drink. Let's follow them, see what they have to do it. So they just left the library. They have an entire fortress full of drink. He's probably got to get a goblet first. Maybe go into the tavern to do that. Yep, sure enough, got one from the stockpile in the tavern. If I wasn't recording, this wouldn't be quite so grindingly slow, but almost. Oh, and now he goes down to a different level. Oh, but notice how he didn't have to travel very far. He went from the library to the tavern to get a goblet, and now it looks like he's not going to go super far. Hopefully he gets something he really likes. Oh, someone just cooked a masterpiece. The guy went out to a very specific barrel, this exact barrel, and not any other. Now, presumably, he's drinking. Oh no, we're out of pearl ash. I hope we're making it. We have a visitor. Oh no. We're going to be hearing about this glass situation, I'm afraid. Oh, so now the human engineers decide to go do research. And what better place to do research than in the library? And now he's discussing the sun. Great. I'm going to see what else is going on. I see some people doing some singing or poetry in the tavern, so we'll see what else is happening. Here is an overview of what's happening at the moment. A lot of people are practicing their military skills feverishly, you could almost say. They're working pretty hard at it. Okay, this cracks me up. I guess it never fails to. These three guys are pretending to play an instrument, but they don't have the instrument, so they're just doing it with their voice. And then this person is actually singing, and they're all humans here in the tavern. And I think they're singing some of their human music. And Aquaman is listening to them. We let these people in from a different civilization, I suspect, and they're actually fortress members. Yeah. And meanwhile, strange creatures are bumping about in the basement. There's some magma crabs on the screen. There's some hungry heads. There's a giant cave spider somewhere. There's a black mamba on the loose. Should we go see where that is? Oh, great. Are you stuck? You're stuck, aren't you? Okay, update. Someone just became a lured consort, and this black mamba is almost certainly stuck in this tree. I don't think snakes are great tree climbers. They're not black mambas that I'm aware of. And so it's possible the game will run faster if we come out here and kill the black mamba, because then it will stop trying to path, and it's probably trying really hard. So uh, we're gonna send the military squad after a tiny little snake. Squad, the Golden Bolts, our main crossbow team. Get out here. We get a job for you. Here comes the crossbow team. Ready to beat up a poisonous snake. One tiny, nearly defenseless, stuck in a tree, poisonous snake. Nope, one of them's changed their mind. Not gonna do it. Time to go somewhere else. Oh no, the mayor has mandated something. I better check on that. Someone's cooking water buffalo. Great. Great. Keep doing it. Just watch. We'll kill this stupid snake and the FPS will just double or something crazy like that. Wow, we haven't heard about the clear glass statues for a while. It was nice. These guys just walked through a tiger trap. But they're safe because they're dwarves. Oh, wow, you made it. The FPS just went up a nudge. As the dwarves left Swampcavern and then looked back, this is what it looked like. Here's Swampcavern looking down from above. On the left-hand side is the main gate. On the right-hand side is an abandoned farm where we used to grow strawberries to make wine. In the middle is where a large chunk of the army is practicing right now. From this point of view, we're a little bit too far away to see the dwarves practicing their military maneuvers and the statues on top of the fortress's towers. I've zoomed in a little bit here so you can see the dwarves practicing their martial arts. Yes, there's a couple lashers in here. There are quite a few axe users, quite a few spear guys. And if it looks like there's a large number of humans in the fort, that's because there is. Now we're down at their level. There really are some people being trampled underfoot. That's how things work, kind of. And we're looking towards the back of the fort. the entrance to the fort would be towards our backs as we're looking this direction. Standing in about that spot, we've just turned slightly to the left. So now we're looking more towards the front of the fort. And there's quite a few adamantine armor-clad warriors right in front of us here. This giant cave spider is actually meant to be here. It's acting kind of like a guard dog for the very front of the fort. If anything walks in the front door, bam, first thing it sees, giant cave spider. The ramp seen here leads to an underground entrance to the fort that is separate, which is to say, as an additional level of safety, the fort could close its main front door on the surface and force anything that was attacking them to go through this longer, more protected route underground. And even then, once you get through that, you have to face these guys here. Let me introduce you to Olon Aquaman Riralath, Duke of Swampcavern. Currently, he is doing his second favorite thing in the world, which is hanging out in the tavern. His most favorite thing in the world is hanging out in the library and looking important. As one of the starting 7 dwarves, it is not known who his parents are. Here is just a little about what he is like, his history in the fort, and what he's wearing. Yes, he really is wearing several hats at the same time. I'm not going to read off every physical or mental trait that Riralath has. You can see them here. But I will point out a few of the things that jump out at me, so you can better imagine what he looks like or acts like. He has 2 actual friends, Oniki and Rustmace, both founding members of the fort. He holds a grudge against Fiery the Stonecrafter. He is 91 years old, which is not that old for a dwarf. His burnt umber skin is wrinkled. His hair is pumpkin with some gray. He has a very good feel for social relationships, good willpower, a way with words, but poor empathy. He greatly respects artists and values martial prowess. In my mind, I feel like this is part of the reason for Ogrid Corps' powerful military and all the art that they have. Here are just a select few aspects of his personality. He is somewhat quarrelsome, and he is bothered by this since he values friendship. He generally acts impartially and is rarely moved to mercy. He is brave in the face of imminent danger. He does not easily hate or develop negative feelings. He dreams of mastering a skill, and that dream was realized. He is a pessimist. He has little interest in joking around. He is bored by reality and would rather disappear utterly and forever into a world of made-up fantasy. This guy would love to play the game Dwarf Fortress. He'd be one of those players that don't care how many dwarves die during construction or digging projects. He likes hematite, which is an ore of iron. He likes silver, seahorse bone, and alligator snapping turtle shell. When the other dwarves found out about those last 2, one of them snapped, "What are ya, Aquaman or something?" And the nickname just stuck. Most of the dwarves in the fort don't like the nicknames they were given, but he's one of the few that just doesn't care. When it comes to needs, he is somewhat focused with satisfied needs. Overall, it sounds pretty neutral, but the way it adds up, Riralath is very happy. The things that bug him are not nearly as bad or numerous as the things that make him happy. I wish we could all be that lucky. He is unfettered after being extravagant. He is unfettered after fighting. He is unfettered after helping somebody. He is unfocused after leading an unexciting life. This guy lives in a jungle where animal people wander by and sometimes randomly attack, where strange creatures in the caves are constantly trying to get in. But to him, that's just not exciting anymore. He's right that it has been years since a siege attacked or a giant monster showed up. Riralath was chosen by the Mountain Homes to be the leader of the expedition that built Ogredcore. They even trained him up a level in leadership. But in the grand tradition of dwarves, the expedition didn't like Riralath for the position of expedition leader and chose Oniki instead the moment they arrived on the future site of Swampcavern. Maybe Riralath was too quarrelsome. Who knows? In the year 125, Ogredcore was founded. 3 years later, it was advanced enough that Riralath was promoted to Baron of the Entrancing Ships. The next year, he was promoted to Count and then immediately to Duke. He was chosen for this position by being well liked in the fort, as well as not preferring a lot of stuff that he might then demand we make for him. Riralath must be something of a builder, because the waterfall that falls through the fort was part of the plan all along. I imagine he had a say in the people who were let into the fort after applying to be citizens. The very first person we let join our fort that wasn't a migrant was the human bard, a woman named Ado Time Babies. Reason for letting her join? We thought she might be a time traveler, or a mage, or something. Riralath survived many notable battles, which is to say he hid deep within the fort and let the well-trained military deal with all the crazy things that stopped by. He's had 25 years to pick up and wear the wealth of this fort. If ever he was unable to acquire nice things, it was because he was too lazy to do it. He's not wearing the finest or fanciest of items in the fort, just a select few things that have really built up over the years. Here's what he's wearing, sorted by location. Right hand. Siltstone bracelet, Gabbro ring on thumb, Gabbro ring on first finger, Siltstone bracelet, Gabbro bracelet, giant Olm leather right glove, giant cave spider silk right mitten. Left hand. Gabbro bracelet, Gabbro ring on thumb, Siltstone bracelet, Gabbro ring first finger, armadillo leather left glove, cave spider silk left mitten. Right ear, Gabbro earring kind of artifact, sort of. Left ear, marble earring. Head, cave spider silk cap, microcline amulet, siltstone amulet, gold crown, Gabbro crown, cave spider silk hood. Yes, that's right, he's basically wearing 4 hats. Because 1 cap, 1 hood, and 2 crowns. Upper body, cave spider silk dress, giant cave spider silk robe, giant crow leather cloak. Lower body, bonobo leather loincloth, troll fur trousers, which he could only have gotten from a siege. They couldn't have made this. Right foot, cave spider silk sock, cave spider silk shoe. Left foot, cave spider silk sock, cave spider silk shoe. The Gabbro artifact earring is not a product of a strange mood, but from sitting in a bin full of items to be set with gems. It has many gems added to it, including images of dwarves and images of 2 real artifacts, in the sense that they're products of strange moods. It has an image of an artifact lychee wood crutch on it. It has an image of the dwarf duck shark being elected to the position of mayor of our fort. It has an image of an artifact rope reed tunic made out of clear zircon. The image, not the rope reed tunic. It has an image of Crowgirl the dwarf surrounded by bats. Crowgirl looks terrified. If you like this content, please like, comment, or subscribe. If you'd like to see the next episode, pretty much the only way to do it is to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified. I'm probably not popular enough to pop up in your feed otherwise. If you'd like to help this channel, tell a friend who would like this sort of video. Or leave a comment letting me know if there's something you'd like to see in this fort, whether it's something you'd like the dwarves to do, or want a better look at some part of the fort. Thanks for watching.